Hi there, I'm Shoddy. Today we're playing Betrayal at Krondor episode 9. Where did we leave off? There was a town to go into, can't remember what its name. High Warden, something like that maybe? High Castle. And we're continuing to travel. One of these roads has an encounter I want to find. A Nighthawk has some dragon armor that I want. If you're watching the VOD, I would appreciate any follows or likes or subscribes on YouTube or Twitch. And if you want to see more of the episodes of Betrayal at Krondor or more of the games I play, you should check out the live tab or the playlist on my YouTube. My castle. The road ramped up the mountain. Pausing to catch his breath, James motioned up the road and then said, "Hi, Castle. Do you think we should pay a little visit?" "Yes." I turned the music down a bit. Hopefully my voice comes through better. Grim reminder of the conflict between the Kingdom of the Isles and nations of the North, High Castle drew its name from the heavy stone fortifications built on a tor which guarded the frontier town. To the distant north loomed Cutter's Gap, one of the few gaps in the wall of mountains known as the Teeth of the World. What is there? Something to click on there. Tavern? Shop? Yep. Rain slanted out of the sky, squiffing through the muddy pass. James stared miserably at the broken remnants of a bridge which had once spanned High Castle Gorge. Blinking rain out of his eyes, he looked to Owen. "The bridge has been sabotaged," he spat. 3 days of this back to High Castle unless you have any other ideas." Owen scowled and shook his head. "I don't know what would be gained by turning around into the Northlands. I think it would be it's just as well the way is blocked." "I have my reasons," James shot back, angry that the trip had been a waste of time. "Let's head back to High Castle." Barmaid. No one to talk to. You click on the people, but the table was clean for them. Sitting down on a splintered bench across from the man, James shared a bit of the mercenary's bread as he listened to a story about a failed love affair with a married woman. As the story progressed from a sentimental recounting to a drunken blubber, it became evident the man had no intention of finishing the tale anytime soon. "That's terrible," James intoned around a mouthful of bread, his attention fixed instead on the wooden boards behind the mercenary's head. "Awful, tragic. Ah, there you are," Stewart said, laying a heavy hand on Owen's shoulder. "Are you lads still going to help me carry in those bags we talked about?" Initially at a loss, but suddenly understanding that they had been rescued, James clapped his hands together. "Yes, yes, of course. If our drinking companion will forgive the absence." Blearily, the man looked up at them and nodded, waving for someone to come fill his cup. The man scowled, apparently far more intent on something going on across the common room. He seemed uninterested in James's repeated attempts to chat. At last, he glanced up and gave an exasperated sigh. "What exactly do you want?" "Just a little friendly talk," James said with a companionable smile. "Gossip, news, a song perhaps. We'll go and find a bloody jongler." I don't know what that word is still. I should look it up. "And leave me be. I've got better things to do than entering every jackaboot that comes through the door." This thing, guy says the exact same thing. "Need any food?" "Kinda do. 14 rations. Make sure they're not poisoned or spoiled. Probably aren't, but you never know." Got the bard. Made 30 sovereigns. 5 sovereigns a night. The Nightmaster looked tired. 5 sovereigns for a night, he grumbled. "Though if you louse my beds, I'll charge you double. We turn you out at sunrise. Oh, and there's a chamber pot in the corner if you need it. Will I sign you in for the night?" "Yes." James settled up the account. "Room's upstairs," the Nightmaster said. "Have a good rest." The room was cramped. Sir Hugging Owen stepped over snoring bodies and selected a spot on the floor, which looked like it might be comfortable for the night, while Gore squeezed into a bed already occupied by 3 disheveled-looking men. "Ah, the romance of traveling," Owen said with a chuckle. "See you in the morning." James knocked on the counter. A few moments later, the Nightmaster appeared with an annoyed look on his face. "You lot again. We can set you up again with the same rate of 5 sovereigns per night. Tonight, though, I'd appreciate it if you didn't kick the other patrons." "What are you looking for? The chamber pots? One of the night?" "Yes." "Room's upstairs. Have a good night." In moments they were fast asleep. Go to the shop. Battleworks. I've read this a million times. Let's go again. Everywhere James looked, polished metal gleamed as much a temple to war as any temple of Tith. The craft shop offers a startling variety of weapons and armor. Does repair as well. Does not have a whetstone. I think that's what I need is a whetstone. There's just this keep to enter, I think. The soldier let them in. Following the swirling tail of the man's white tabard, they were escorted into a well-appointed study with large windows overlooking the marshalling yard of the castle. Seated in the casement just below it, a large man was watching the activities below with an absorbed fascination, occasionally scribbling down notes on a piece of parchment at his side. Baron Kevin, these men asked to be shown in, the soldier announced. Shall I leave you? The red-haired man nodded, motioning for them to take seats a little more conventional than the one he currently occupied. What can I do for you? What can I do for you, gentlemen? I am afraid Baron Trovel isn't here. It is quite all right. We're looking for insights about a possible attack on High Castle, James started. Have you seen anything unusual recently? Have I? Kevin said with a laugh, his blue eyes twinkling. I see unusual things every day. You don't work in a frontier fort and lead a boring life, you know. After relating several amusing stories, the Baron mentioned that an important bridge had collapsed to the north of Cutter's Gap, possibly stranding several goblins on the kingdom side of High Castle Gorge. They're likely to begin attacking traveling merchants for food. If you're heading that direction, I'd advise watching my step if I were you. If you happen to stumble across those goblins, I'd appreciate it if you brought us back some evidence they were around. We might be passing that way, James said with a shrug. We don't exactly have an itinerary. If we don't know where we're going, then the people who are trying to silence Gorth here won't know it either. I understand, Baron said, favoring Gorth with a doubtful look. Be careful in your journeys. Everybody read the book. I give me any defense or not. Alrighty. Let's go find that encounter I've been looking for. Maybe spyglass everything. Let's see. Crossroads, I can go something like west or south. I don't want to go to this forest, so let's go west. Stuff over there. And a trap. I could start with that one. Go forward? No, it doesn't. They were trapped. With the sound of his heart pounding his ears, James forced himself to pause, forced himself to think clearly for a moment, an action that lasted mere seconds but felt like lifetimes. Taking stock of the situation, he quickly realized escape would be futile. Retreat, for the moment at least, was out of the question. Oh, shit. I think I made a mistake already, though. Push that one that way. This is supposed to shoot through that. Didn't. Oh, interesting. Oh, thank you for the follow. Good to know that follow Alert works too. I'm not interested in any Discord friends, sorry man. I need to push this one diagonal. Well, we're gonna have to bite the fireball, I guess. Supposed to start with that. And the other one was supposed to get pushed over to here. Many hit points as I can get. Get another fireball. Oh. I think we're through it. Be on your guard. There may be other traps. Like dogs shouting at the moon, or armor worn by the trees, like a sharply spoken command, or a tiny vessel upon the seas. This is bark. You can see it in winter, but never in summer. Even though it's as light as a feather, the mightiest mortal in the north can't hold it for long. Like snowflake, S-N-O-W. Snowfit? It's not. Breath? B-R-E-A. Yeah, it's probably breath. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Every creature in the world has seen it. To their dying day, they'll never see the same one again. Fills out toilet. That can't be right. Oops. Every creature in the world has seen it, but to their dying day, they'll never see the same one again. Does it end in day? I want to say like birthday, but it doesn't work. Hello, Cyrus. I got a long puzzle that I don't think I'm going to be able to figure out. Oh, something day? Probably not. Yeah, I don't know what that one is. Someday I'll play this again and I'll look up the answers to the puzzle. Not trapped. Luck looks complicated. Darn. Held point. Oh boy. Bunch of bad guys. Really into whetstone. Stuff for armor, this stuff? Yeah. And this is for blades. Use fire swords. Uncorking the bottle, Gorth poured a small portion of naphtha over the blade, then wiped most of the residue away. Once an enemy came within striking range, the first kiss of his blade against steel would spark quite a surprise for his intended target. Could improve swordplay. Let's drink one of them. Oops. And one of those. Closing his eyes, Gorth quaffed down some of the bitter-tasting fluid. Dreadfully croaked. Next time I'll just drink from a sewer. Gorth took a sparing swig from the vial of Faldemar's formula, cringing as faint rushes of heat washed through his muscles. Suddenly he felt wildly exhilarated. The tea tasted familiar, reminding him vaguely of a minty concoction brewed in taverns to cut through the chill during winter months. More interesting was the fact that the world around him seemed to gain clarity, as if he could see things he hadn't noticed before he drank the mixture. There. All buffed up. That is the group we intend to attack. The creatures howled. We surprised them. I don't know if these are supposed to be goblins or trolls, or what the heck they're supposed to be. But I have good accuracy and damage now. No, they like chasing the spellcaster around. Do a swing. I don't know if I missed any of the bodies or not. Oh yeah, you do 9 gold. Nice. Place is abandoned. Where's that road go? Oh, it goes to the other road that heads to the forest. No one's lived here in some time. No one's lived here in some time. This is an inn. Made 30 sovereigns with that song. Barkeep. That guy is exactly the same. James tapped the woman's shoulder. I've read that one a bunch too. I'll do it again, I guess. The woman sighed, explaining that the talking had worn her out, and that she only wished to sit and enjoy her ale. She wished James and Owen well, then called for another round to be brought to her. Okay. Well, the first time you click on her, she makes fun of your oratory skills or something like that. Gorth yawned. Sleep well tonight, Master asked. Not exactly, Owen replied, rubbing his eyes. The fellow that was sharing our bed tossed all night, kept burying his elbows in our guts and fingers in our money pouches, Gorth growled, examining their finances. He stole a handful of golden sovereigns. Nightmaster smiled nervously. You understand that nothing that the establishment can't be held responsible. I can sign you up for another night, though. Are you interested? No. Jim frowned. Another time, Nightmaster, he said, rapping a knuckle against the counter. A bit of advice, however, you want more customers? Advise dropping your prices. Even the Empress of Cash would balk at what you're asking. Already clicks on this one? Yeah. Let's go down the back road. The stooped man who came to the door was wiping his hands on a stained cloth. Welcome to Eld Point. Have you come to buy a pot? Very fine quality, the man said with a broad smile. Yes, I'm sure they are, but we are travelers, and we have no use for such items. What can you tell us of your town? Asked James. The man put down his rag, rubbed his forehead with the back of his arm and wrist. Well, there's a general store called Goods, and an inn called the Royal Bed. A few houses here and there, nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Have I been here before? I remember that Goods. Shaking his head slightly, James said, no reason, just curious. Thank you for your time, good sir. Good day. The normal well. A little spyglass from here. Nothing. Show me the whetstone. Good. The layout of the goods store was comfortably familiar, arranged in such a common-sense fashion that it took only a few moments for James to locate the items which interested him. Hooray! We'll buy another one of those too. Counts of Shamata Garrison. Strategies of trading. Oops, there it is. I have anything to sell you. Would you like one of these? No. They were greeted warmly. After a friendly chat and a steaming pot of tea, they refused any further hospitality from their hosts. You've been more than generous, James said, grabbing his pack. I think it's time we made for the road again. Oop. Gave me an inventory of the house for some reason. Oh, where are we going? Straight off the road. Straight down the road. The house was badly in need of repair, but it appeared as though someone might be living in it, so James knocked loudly and stood back to wait. A female voice called out to them from inside. Who is it? Official kingdom business. We need to speak with you, James said firmly. The door opened slowly on a woman who seemed surprised and dismayed to see them standing before her. Please, kind sirs, we didn't mean no harm. The house was abandoned when we found it. Her torn dress fluttered in the small breeze, just as her voice fluttered in her nervousness. Gorth noticed, sensed perhaps, that she was with a child. That's not why we have come. What can you tell us of this area? Anything out of the ordinary? No, sirs, there ain't been much. Just wait a minute. A detachment from Highcastle camped out just south of here, and I think they left behind a couple of boxes. Didn't look in them, though. James told the woman to stay in the house as long as she and her husband needed to stay there. I don't think the owner has any plans to come back here. Goodbye. The ashes were cold. Chance we could pick it. Abandoned. Maybe the occupants left something. Nope. I've been here. That's okay. I want to run into, more loot and more encounters. This is the same thing, but they were greeted warmly. After a friendly chat and steaming pot of tea, they refused any further hospitality from the host. You've been more than generous, James said, grabbing his pack, but I think it's time we made for the road again. On the road again. In the well. Push open the stall of the wooden barn and found stalls containing a standard mixture of animals. The floor of the barn was covered with a pungent mixture of hay, dust, and animal dung, and it made his eyes water. He was glad they left a few minutes later. There. Probably found this before too, whatever it is. The search was futile. Exasperated, James restacked the rocks into a pile, partially relieved that at least there hadn't been a trap of some sort waiting for them under the stones. Bunch of stuff in the corner. Imagine I found it before, but we must find out. Black when bought, red when used, gray when thrown away. Holes? Have I been here or not? Or use whetstone? Thanks. I think maybe I've been to these ones. This one I didn't figure out. It is too much for one. Two it is meant for, but it no longer exists when the two become more. Secret? Nice. Well, he could use the bowstring. Cooked up stuff for a streamer trying to peep. No, I'm okay, man. I like to make my own stuff. Thanks, though. It was never before, it is not now. Fools wait for it forever. It's just like Future. I think I've done this one too. Temple was this. Gala. Pretty sure I went here too. Barn looked familiar. We've been here before, said James. They explored the interior for a couple of minutes, but not finding anything of interest, they left. Someone's lived here for some time. I'm not looking for any Discord friends or any art by anybody else or anything, man. I'm doing okay, thanks. The road was littered with rocks. Instinctively, they knew they'd simply fallen from the sides of the rocky defile, which they now faced them. But a part of him entertained the notion that perhaps they had fallen onto the roadbed when someone scrambled up the cliffs to await their party. If we head to the west, there's always a possibility that more assassins waiting for us. Do we risk it? Yes. Days passed. The psychic exposed feeling created by the defile. They moved quickly during the nights and left the days to resting under rocky overhangs, listening for assassins' footsteps. At last, their foot sore and road weary, they emerged near the town of Tirsog. Oh. They're being watched. Unsure where their observers were located, James wheeled about just as a figure emerged from behind the trees. Ooh, they got dogs. E. Loot the dogs. Increase combat, defend oneself. Fully defend. True sight T. What's for archery? I see, I see. What's that? This is abandoned. Entered a cheery common room. As if grown from the floorboards themselves, a middle-aged man appeared on the spot. He showed them to a table set next to a roaring hearth. Joffrey, owner of this tavern, said with a pleasant smile. Might I interest you in some food today? Sure. Tavern keeper smiled. Splendid. What would you like? Shops are closed. Doesn't seem anyone's about. Probably passed out inside. Let him sleep. Healing Pawn. I can't remember where the guy was that would change my ruby into an emerald or whatever. Going home. Go south or west around. Yeah, guys. Game struggled to make sense of it all. As the enemy advanced, his concentration was in two places. His legs, making certain of his stance and balance, and on his opponents, wondering how they had been able to track them down so quickly. All such thoughts were quickly forgotten as the enemy charged into the ranks. I guess I didn't surprise him. Poisoned. Another body on top of that one. Oh, whetstone. We have too much stuff. Is this the right way? No, it's not. £300 of madman answered the door. The greasy-looking farmer said to himself, sizing up James in a single glance. Should have known that some kind of stranger had to be responsible. For what? James prompted. Don't be stupid. You've been keeping me up the last 10 nights with those rackets to the west. James shook his head. I'm afraid there's been a mistake. Really, we'll be leaving you alone now. Going on to the west. That's where we start the game. To the south. Silently, he stalks me, running as I run, creeping as I creep. Dressed in black, he disappears at night, only to return with the sun. Shadow? I don't know if I've solved this one or not before. Probably have. Eyes of Ishap. The Six have advised the field commander that Gorth of the Ardanian has now moved south. He may be accompanied by a seigneur of the Krondorian court. Be careful to monitor his activities and take measures where appropriate. Already know Eyes of Ishap? I don't. Now I do. What does it do? Incense vessels. Kind of vessels. Oh, I bet you, bet you it's the same thing as this, telescope. Yeah, cool. Two things? Oh, because I dropped the bag. Okay. Something in the north corner. James angrily shoved open the door to Jeremy's house. We shall have a word with you, scribe. You suspected that box was rigged to explode. That's why it was the only one you hadn't surveyed. Believe what you like, but no, I had no idea it was trapped. James glared at the bald-headed man who returned their gaze with contempt. We should take it out on your hide, but provided you hold up to your end of the bargain, I suppose we'll let you be, as we have more important matters to attend to. What? More important than threatening scribes? Jeremy snapped, picking up a book and thrusting it into James's hands. I'll not have you accusing me of being a shyster on top of any other crimes you care to manufacture about me. Get out of here. Not a word they left, slamming the door behind them. Or what book he gave me. Biffle's bird migrations. One grunted. A volume The volume of leaden weight in his hands, considering the difficulty he had in getting through even the thinnest written works presented to him, he was astounded any writer would actually have the stamina to fill the 1,000 or more pages stitched between the book's other covers. It's actually about bird migrations. Many times, Owen flipped back to the cover of the book to reaffirm that the title had in some way been connected to the migration of birds. While the author had begun a discussion on winged wildlife, he had quickly meandered into discussion of the famed battles of Midkemia. Continuing on to a reiteration of various battle songs diverted to a rant about the prices of ale in the kingdom's taverns, tangentially, I don't know, tangentially, tangentially, I don't know, lamented about the plight of magicians, and then ended on a humorous anecdote about his mother-in-law having consumed a vial of Fatimore's formula to outslug a Serrani warrior in a bar brawl. Bunch of reading. Something doesn't feel right about this place. The building creaked in a way that made James nervous. You stay out here, he told Gorath. Something doesn't feel right about this place. I'm going to have a look around. When he returned a minute later, he had a grim look on his face. What did you find? There was an open chest lying on an empty work table, looking as though it had been rigged with a system of tripwires and flints. The contents were no doubt explosive. Someone's been up to no good. We best leave before they get back. This will be a trap chest, right? Oops. Oh, it's not. In all this world, none can compare to this tiny weaver, so deadly cloth. His deadly cloth so silky and fair. And spider. I would have opened this one already. Come on. James knocked on the door. Go away, shouted a voice from inside. I need to get some sleep. James was about to knock again, but thinking better of it, he decided they should leave. The building appears abandoned. They locked up after themselves. Think we should take a shot at opening it up? A peasant's key. With the lock successfully picked, James pushed open the door and entered the small building. Looks like it used to be some sort of laundry shop, but apparently it's gone out of business. Let's take a look around. We've already done all this stuff, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. It's been a few chapters. Maybe something new happens. Definitely not a good idea. This is my aunt's house. As much as I would enjoy the opportunity to explain why I'm traveling with a Moradel, I think we should leave. Doesn't seem anyone's about. Doesn't seem anyone's about. Crossroads. Oh, the store is updated. Oops. 36 plus 10, 52, and 0. What's this thing? Yeah, I'll leave the 20 plus skill, and then James can actually hit something. I'd like to give him a great sword. Maybe if we find one, I won't buy one though. This one's just what a Prince Arthur do. He died. Arutha. Need rest. This is Lamont. Maybe. 33 sovereigns. Motioned the figure across the room, the man walked over to join them. He stood before them, eyebrows arched inquisitively. "We are always pleased to have guests of your eminence. Come with the Blue Wheel Inn, be of service to you." Nothing new there. Much as I would enjoy staying, there are several dead men whose murderers we need to find. We appreciate your hospitality. It is my hope that you find those you seek. I should not like to see the game of the council become commonplace in your world. I'm not well versed in what this game of the council is, but from what little I've been told of it by other Serrani, I think I'd have to agree. Thank you again. Dubal scowled. Bent over his pipe, he prodded a thumb into the meerschaum bowl until a weak blue flame issued forth to fill the room. With a frustrated growl, he jammed the smoking thing back in his mouth, or into his mouth, muttered aloud in his thick dwarven burr. "Set flame to a mid-hemium tobacco and you'll have an hour's respite from the world. Set flame to a Serrani weed through, though, and you'll be lucky to get so much as a gnat's spit of smoke from it. For all I know, they probably cut it in half and half with Gwali dung. Mind if I sit with you for a while? Sit where you like, lad. I don't own the stools, but if it's a ramble you're after, then Dubal unlock is the right gaffer. Have a good story to tell, laddie? Dangerous question, but I would be willing to bet yours date back rather longer than mine. Right now, I'm a bit preoccupied. We're on the trail of a murderer. Hawk, you pollute the blue wheel with talk like that. We're happy folk here, and I'm not in the mood to have it put to ruin. You need to be a bit more cheery, like Samani. Barkeep, he's a nice fellow for a Serrani, I suppose, but he seems sort of stoic. Not exactly a bundle of laughs. He's a bloody riot, that one. Got a joke that'll split your sides and have you peeing your skins in an heartbeat. Of course, being Serrani, its jokes do take a bit of getting used to. They have a funny, wise way of looking at the thing. I agree they're a strange bunch, but I think the only one that I could ever met is a man they called Charles. Never could pronounce his Serrani name. He works for Duke Martin and Cridey. We'll go and ask Samani about his joke, what he told me earlier. In the meanwhile, I'm going to have a quick smoke and quiet for a bit. Fair enough, thanks for chatting with us. Well, I asked this guy about his joke. Dubal tells me you're quite the entertainer. Any chance I could hear one of your Serrani jokes sometime? Dubal tells people many things. Some things he says are true, other things he says not as true. I merely repeat what it is I've heard from those at the garrison. That's fine, I'm easy to please. Your will, Lord. Though I should warn you, there is a different, how should I say, aesthetic to Serrani humor. You may find it puzzling, but as you request it, I shall endeavor to entertain you. During his reign of 44 times, Emperor Hijakuma, the lords of the minor houses of the Omatu, the Zulu Makal, and the Hebatoki were summoned to the holy city for an audience with the warlord. The Omatu, knowing the warlord would to be allied with the Ebon Fist party, decided they would present the warlord with a woman of the reed life. The Zulu Makal were richer, however, and decided they would buy the warlord a fine wooden sword from the Choja hive on the estates of the Kinu. But the Hebatoki paid the greatest price of the day and rode into the warlord's estate astride a ferocious Harluth. Immediately, the Harluth consumed the reed life prostitute and began destroying the warlord's estate. Using the blade given by the Zulu Makal, he beheaded the beast but broke his blade in the process. When he had seen what had become of his fine gifts, he exclaimed, "Pura Kemu be praised, the emperor shall love his new shoes." That was, well, to be honest, I didn't understand anything you said after the word rain. But you told it well, I'm sure. It's time we left. We still have men to find. May Cho Chuan watch over you. Assuming that must be a Serrani god. I'm not sure if they have any influence here in Midkemia, but at this point, I'll take whatever luck wherever I can get it from. Thank you, Samani. And we'll sleep until we're full hit points. James drummed his fingers on the counter. After a brief wait, the Nightmaster entered whistling, a cheerful look on his face. So, Jan, did you have a good night? Excellent, James intoned with false sincerity. I don't know when I've had a better sleep. That was, of course, when I could get to sleep. What were you doing down here, scanning cats? A deep blush spread across the innkeeper's face. I had company. It's been a while, he said sheepishly. You can't hold that against a fellow now, can you? So, can I sign you up for another night? James settled the account. Room's upstairs, the Nightmaster said. Have a good rest. Doris strummed the lute. Before you get started, I think you should know we've tapped out our entertainment fund, the tavern keeper said quietly. If you play here, it'll only be for your own amusement. We can go to the garrison was impressive. Sitting high on a hill overlooking Lamont, the military outposts had been constructed years earlier to head off a possible Mordell assault on the western border of the kingdom. They followed a road that snaked through town and up the rocky hill with which the garrison sat. After speaking to the sentries at the gate, they were led under the fortress's massive iron portcullis. Jim smiled. It's good to see you again, Captain Belford, he said, nodding in the direction of the uniformed man approaching them. What news have you? Belford extended a hand and replied, We continue to hear reports of trouble brewing in the Northlands, and we spotted a number of the bloody Mordell bastards around here. What news do you have for me? They talked for nearly an hour, exchanging stories and information. Finally, all new news. Exhausted, they shook hands and said goodbye. Party's barding ability has increased. Now, do I think anything is new in the cave? Did I explore the whole cave? That seemed kind of... Oops. I do have the telescope. We can see if it works in the cave. A sulphurous stench was in the wind. This must be Mac Mardane Cadell, James said, his eyes glazing as he lost himself in thought. I knew it was somewhere close. As I recall, Mac is dwarven for mine or cave or something like that. Now, considering the dwarves are no friends of the Mordell, they might be some assistance to us. Assuming they don't take exception to Gorth here, do we investigate or not? Yes. Tunnels were damp, though the silver-seamed earthen roof which stretched over their heads was tall enough that they didn't have to crouch. James felt hemmed in by the shaft. He was privately thankful the dwarves were larger than they were often give it credit for in the legends. Well, this guy. Shadow approached. From a murky corner of the mine tunnel, the figure advanced towards him. Gorth's pulse quickened for a moment, but he relaxed slightly as he saw they were not about to be attacked. We're at a deed halt at the moment. We've had a section of mine exposed nearly the entire length to Elvendar when we found another blasted Brucknar hole. Bracknar. It was but a wee tyke and we were able to kill it, but that kept us bent in fits for weeks. Alone, he was able to collapse several hundred yards of rock. We gotta make sure that the mine will hold up to New Amaran. Another few months and we should be through to Elvendar. Thank you for your time, Nutter. Hope you can get things straightened out down here. We'll be fine. As soon as we're through some of this rock and the Bracknar's laid low, you can't keep us down. I don't think so. Perhaps we'll meet again. Telescope does work. I don't see any new... Is this supposed to be a dead end? It's a chest. That's a chest. That was the new area, maybe? We'll run around a bit. Go dead end here. Alright. Stairwell spiraled downward. Well, inquired Gore, shall we? They descended noisily. Several times Owen nearly lost his footing on the mossy steps, but fortunately caught himself before sending them all tumbling down the dwarven stairwell. At last they emerged into a large corridor. I guess I haven't been down here, maybe. Oops, that's not what I want. Interesting. Dead end. Locked tight. You shot at opening it? Gilder's passkey. We're not trying to close the door on my head. They agreed to attack. Their opponents were surprised. The leader of the small mob screamed orders at his companions, a mix of fear and anger apparent in his voice. Seizing the first strike opportunity, James barked several quick orders and the battle was joined. Only 2 guys? Back. This guy's got a different sword. It's the right way. Yes. Someone or something screamed a warning. By the time it reached the ears of his companions, James had already sized up the situation and stood poised for the first strike. Within seconds, the battle was joined. Holy, I can run all the way across the map to that guy? Alright, well, one-tapped him. These goblin stickers, yeah. Ooh, dragon mail. That's really good. Right. Hmm. Right. Drop our dwarven mail. I think this was a dead end already. Yeah. Search was futile. Desperate, James restacked the rocks in the pile, partially relieved at least there hadn't been a trap of some sort waiting under the stones. Where was the treasure? Did I find a treasure in that room? I don't think I did. Let's go back and look. To the right? Is that correct? Oh. Be camouflage in there. Not. Could pick it. Not trapped. Oh, look at all the loot I can't carry. Well, maybe I can. 100% shell. Darn. Artificial darkness. Artificial light. Pretty sure I read that before. Alright. One last corridor. Ooh. A kobold climbed, grunting from the pit. Gorth put his hand on his sword, but the creature seemed unarmed, so after a moment he relaxed his grip. In broken kingdom tongue, the kobold began to speak to them of Ruarg, the dragon who once inhabited the mines. Convinced the dwarves were somehow responsible for the dragon's disappearance, they had decided to bribe King Dolgun into freeing it. We would have great tower plate, croaked the kobold. Have you of what we speak? I do. Let me go get it. James shook his head. Considering their trouble they had gone through to get the dwarven armor, there wasn't quite prepared to simply give it away, despite the tempting offer that the kobolds had made. We haven't found it as yet. We will make certain to return it to you if we do find it. Now, since I threw it on the ground, it might be already gone. Which room was that in? This room? To the right? Right. I think I got turned around. Come on, still be there. Yeah. Alright. We can't carry it. I guess we're gonna ditch these notes. And we'll ditch this book. What else? Give this guy the spider. Great tower plate. That was this way. What? Miss a turn? Can't see in the dark? Aw. I want the kobold to come back. That sucks. Hope I didn't miss out on that. Maybe I can reload. Save this one as bug. And just have to fight this again. Hello, Jamie. Found some more dragon armor. One of these guys has it. There it is. Hippers. And now when I run into this other guy down here, I can give him that dwarven armor. Nostalgic. Fun game. Oh, there we go. We would have gray tower plate. Yes, take it. James nodded. Yes, we do, he said slowly. What will we profit of letting you have it? The kobold considered this for a moment, then turned to the pit and made some signaling motions with his hands, while shouting instructions in a language James didn't understand. After close to an hour, a strange-looking metallic goblet was brought to the surface by several young kobolds, who held it reverently as if it possessed incredible value. James placed the gray tower plate on the floor of the mine near the pit and stepped back so it could be inspected. Apparently satisfied with their offer, the kobolds motioned them forward, that they might sip from the goblet. Owen was first. He let the cool liquid trickle into his mouth from the cup. Almost immediately he felt a new sense of strength and vitality. It began in his mouth and chest and radiated away from the areas like ripples on a pond. The kobolds gave a sip to everyone, then climbed back into the darkness of the pit. Party's abilities have increased. Weapon craft barding? Oh, health and stamina. Maybe we got 10 hit points or something? I'm not too sure. Swing across the pit. Dead end. Any treasures I missed? Oh. Needs the armor. This will be the bag I threw on the ground, I think. So there is more treasures to find. Quite a bit more dungeon to go through. Nothing under the stones, and nothing under the stones. The walls narrowed slightly. Soon the corridor made an abrupt turn, ending in a mass of broken crossbeams, earth, and crumbled masonwork. Cave in, James pondered aloud. We'll have to go another way. Turning around, the party ventured back up the corridor down which they had come. I guess maybe we gotta come back here later. But there is another way to go. Oh, no. Same. Yep, I guess we'll come back later. I need a spell to take me out of this place. Whoa, I fell down the pit. I wasn't looking. James failed. His last impressions were those of a dark shaft and hardpack earth rushing up to meet him. Oh, man. When's the last time I saved? After I gave that guy the... Did I find anything over here? I don't think I did. Might as well explore it anyways. That's funny. The sound effect. Wah! Sound like something from DuckTales. Kind of like D&D. Yeah, I was thinking of playing the Genesis game, Warriors of the Eternal Sun. Play that game after this one or later sometime. I don't think I'll play those Eye of the Beholders. I don't think I can beat those games. I never have. If I start those on a stream, I'll just be like wandering around a dungeon lost the whole time. We need rest. Bring across this pit. There we go. Way is the right way. Have I not been this way? Probably a dead end, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Warriors of the Eternal Sun was on Genesis, and then we had Eye of the Beholder 2, I think, on Super Nintendo. I might play Baldur's Gate 2, but I've never beat that one either. Might be hard to talk myself into playing it. Where's the way up? Over here? No. Looks like I'm all the way back up. One nearly broke his neck. Less foot sure than Gorth and further encumbered by this bulky staff. It was a constant struggle for him to keep upright as they wound up the mossy steps of the dwarfen mine. When they reached the ground level, once again he resisted the urge to drop and kiss the dirt. I don't think there's any pits in this one. The way out is here. All right. I must have got turned around again. Left. Nope. I've read this before. I think it's Buddy throwing an axe at me. He's scared of the Brackner. Right. Ooh. We need rest. One more piece of dragon armor to find, and then we can probably stop wandering around everywhere. The other mountain? No. What did I miss? Huh? Unspoiled food. I've got Ravenloft Stone Prophet as well. We used to have that on PC. I've got that on GOG. I've also got the other game in that series we didn't play. Print out the answer to the chess. Yeah, we had the strategy guide. I probably still have the CD of this game. It probably has that strategy guide. I haven't been cheating or looking up the answers in the chess, so there's like 3 or 4 of them I couldn't find the answer for. Tavern. No answer. No answer. Doesn't seem anyone's about. Place is abandoned. Hage's Herbs. I don't know how to pronounce that. You want this stupid thing? Look at it. I want this book. Which book didn't he read? Oh, now you gotta read them both. No skills gained. They're being watched. Unsure where their observers were located, James wheeled the boat just as a figure emerged from behind the trees. At dorks. Nice. Gotta be a Nighthawk with my dragon armor somewhere. Sun, Hawk's Hollow. Treasure's up there. I guess we'll have to go get them. Oof. Can't get around there. Ambushers. Oops, miss. Miss click. Game probably was ahead of its time, yeah. Huh. Flame cast. I think I already have a spell like that. Flame cast. I've got 2. Remember there being a guy who teaches you flame cast that you find on the road when you almost get to Krondor, but I never found him this round. I wonder why. I already had flame cast, or just didn't run into the right spot of the road. Really, I'm gonna find that. Nighthawk battle. Bad guys. Their attack was unexpected. You're not allowed to run away. House is abandoned. I think this is the most spyglassing I've ever done when I played this game. Small house is abandoned. I hope we might find the fisherman Chanty here, but he has apparently taken up residence elsewhere. They're being watched. Can't quite reach that guy. Sure. Can I read the books over here too? You give this to one. Fourth leveled up from the something. That's not where Fisherman Chanty is. Bunch of loot over there that I've probably gotten already. Rigot and supply. Nothing I want. Easy to spot when allowed to plume is hard to see when held in a room. Is it smoke? Yeah, I think I've already opened all these. Let's just check them all and make sure. Be you ever so quick, with vision keen by your eyes, we are never seen unless perchance it should come to pass. You see our reflection in a looking glass. Is it just eyes? A run soon? Game looks super fun to play again. I'm having a good time. Precious gift, this yet it has no beginning or end. In the middle, nothing. I've already answered these ones, but I think I already either remembered them or they're not that hard. I'm sure somebody's gonna watch this in the future, and the ones that I couldn't solve, they're gonna be like, "It's this, you idiot! It's right staring you in the face!" That's fine. Quester's View. This where I can turn my emerald into a diamond? Wouldn't have gotten those. Ah, sure you would. You can write down the clues on the dial too, like I've done over here. And I couldn't figure out what this one was. I can't remember what the riddle was now, but I was like just trying to look at it and figure out what it was. That guy gave me tea. This is just an inn. No one really to talk to, but I can play some money for 33 sovereigns. Play the bard. Play the lute. There were stirrings inside the house. After a short time, a stout lad of about 13 came to the door, opening wide. "If you're looking for my brother, he's not here right now. Actually, are your parents about?" Boy paused for a heartbeat. "My folks were killed a year back. Mitch and I moved here several months ago to study swordplay with Tad Quester. We're going to find the bloody brigands who did it and feed them their own hearts." James was about to offer some fatherly advice about leaving such work to those older and more qualified, but seeing the boy's expression, he decided against it. Instead, he asked, "Is Tad good with the sword?" "What are you kidding? He's the greatest. He lives right over there." The boy motioned towards Tad's house, then excused himself, closing the door behind him. Another stop. Pierce Perry's weapons. Tad Quester. On the road again. Oh, there's probably the bad guy that I want. I'm here with your dragon armor. The advantage was lost. Yeah, I hit this guy for like 10, right? That means he has a ton of armor. I can blind him. Over here. Looks like I can blind him. Yeah, that's the only spell we could use back when we played it because we couldn't get the mouse to work. You can use Alt and the arrow keys to move the key around, but you couldn't use that to charge your spells. The only spell we could use was the blind spell. Or all the spells that you don't need to choose a amount of stamina or whatever with. I don't want them damaged evenly. So if they come back to life, I'll have to use the final rest spell, which Exit, so I can't get any loot. Okay, this guy needs to die before the other guy gets up. Lightning. Good. Dragon armor. What I want. Give this guy the ruby. Right, that didn't really work out for me. I remembered that from playing years ago. I guess we'll give this guy a bunch of stuff. You know, the dragon armor. Maybe I'll sell that armor. There, the whole party has dragon armor. I don't think I've ever accomplished that before. Spent a lot of time exploring this game, or this playthrough. Okay, so now we can finally play the game. I don't think I need any more loot or treasures or nothing. Let's go south to Krondor. Let's go south to Krondor. Figure emerge from behind the trees. Oh no. Ouch. Can't reach him. Now I'm frozen. What did I do to that spellcaster? Blind him? Let's go kill the spellcaster. The guy beating on Gorth. Nice. I can't carry anymore. Guess I don't need to carry this armor around very much. Now he's got a bunch of room. Too much stuff. Guess I dropped a note out of that chest. And... who cares? Where does this go? Garth. Uh-oh. First we get ambushed. I think that was a poison arrow. Oh, I didn't rest. Uh-oh. Poisoning everyone. All right, see you, Jamie. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks. I think I needed more rations. But I think Owen's poisoned. And Gorth might be as well. No, he's not. Owen is. Breaking open the bulb of anti-venom, Owen greedily drank down the contents, immediately feeling a rush of warmth spreading through his limbs as it neutralized the silverthorn poison coursing through his veins. All right. This is over there. Somewhere. You see it about in a field in town. It cannot get up, but it off fall down. Rain. Chill of its death, you may soon mourn, but though it dies, it cannot be born. Did I figure this one out? I don't know if I did. I don't remember it. L-U-S-T-E. Ben? No. Try them all. Oh. AS? That makes anything. AI? O. R. I. Fire. Guess we did figure that out. We didn't. I don't know if there's better armor in the game than dragon armor. Guess we'll find out eventually. Sung. Can I go in this Sarth? Am I dumb? I just fought the dudes and didn't go into town? I think we went in the caves already. We couldn't get to the second level. Let's enter here. Library. There's a shop. A temple. We have a ruby and an emerald. Didn't I find a diamond earlier? Unless when I reloaded I didn't loot the chest. Oh well. We don't need the second flame cast. Don't want that one book anymore either. Why don't you're a library? Go to the temple? Don't think I want to talk to the abbot. Need rest. No treasures. This is the road to Krondor, I think? Yes. Let's go. Shop. Palace. Inn. Shop. The inn. Talk to this silly guy. The tax collector looked ill. Slumped on his bench, he gazed into open space, his monocle fogged and his features slackened. Seeing James, he seemed to pale somewhat. Grumph, just let me die, gods. Still hungover, Nivik? Not so loud. Oh, please, just leave a poor old soul to die. Sure you don't want a drink? I want you to know that I hate you to the depths of my being right now. The bitter sea isn't as deep as my loathing for you. So I take it you're not in the mood for a talk. Go fall off the edge of the world, quietly. Just so long as you don't make any sound doing it. Goodbye, James. Take care of yourself, old friend. We made 49 sovereigns by playing the bard. 8 sovereigns a night. James smiled. Still feeling lightheaded from his well-earned sleep, he waited patiently as the Nightmaster stirred from his office behind the counter. You seem to be in a good mood, the man said, picking up the guest register. James replied only by nodding non-committally, knowing the innkeeper might increase his rates if he seemed too pleased with the service. Seeing as we slept so well, how about another night, the innkeeper asked. Just to show you how generous I am, I'll keep the same rate, 8 sovereigns per night. What do you say? James settled the account. Room's upstairs, the Nightmaster said. Have a good rest. Full hit points. Hooray. Go to the palace. The gate master let them in. Announcing the small party, he escorted them inside the enclosure of the Krondorian palace. Talk to Paula. James, Senor. James, at your disposal, lady. I'm sorry I have interrupted you. No, actually, I'm quite pleased to have you here, James. Things around the palace have become very peculiar. Prince Arutha hasn't held court in weeks, and Pug has been locking himself up with McCullough and our daughter Gamina to discussing who knows what. Have you felt left out of the circle? Is that it? I suppose I have been privileged, spoiled even in the past, because he hasn't trusted me with whatever he was thinking. He's shown me things I could never have imagined, and yet now he's hiding somewhere from me. At some level, I'm almost inclined to think that something is frightening him. Frightening Pug? Gods, I don't like the sound of that. May I speak to him? I wish you could, but he has gone to our academy at Stardock. I don't know when he plans to return. To make matters worse, when I went to see Prince Arutha, he sent word that he couldn't speak to me because he was busy with matters of state. That's not at all like him. No, it isn't, but I have a few suspicions about what this may all mean. First, there are a few things I need to know. I'm at your service. Has anything happened in Krondor since I left, or has the whole town been closed up of boredom waiting for me to return? Nothing unusual, really. The most exciting thing I've heard is there appears to be an outbreak of Quagian fever in some of the ports, but they don't expect things will get too serious. The priest from the Temple of Sung has sent men down to the docks to deal with any cases that show up there, and the palace guards have been advised to keep a lookout for anyone who seems to be suffering from delusions. They think it will be contained in the areas north of Krondor. If Prince Arutha isn't here, then he must have already begun. Begun what? Sorry, I was thinking aloud. If you would, do you think you could tell him something for me? It's fairly important that he hear it. What is the message? Tell him that the party in Romney was cancelled because of our host took ill, and now we're looking for his pet parakeet that flew away. As soon as we find the perch, we'll meet him for tea at Mother's. Not sure I understand. But the prince will. I don't mean to be mysterious, but it's better than only we two know what is going on at the moment. Message. You think you can deliver a message to Prince Arutha for me? Certainly can try. What is it? Tell him that we haven't reached the Black Sheep Tavern in Romney as yet, but I'll send word to him as soon as I can. I don't think that will be too much of a problem. I'll see he gets it as soon as he returns. Goodbye. This is Locklear's room. Where I left a bunch of stuff. I guess I probably didn't read the description on this. It was simply the best armor ever made by human hands, an articulated breastplate with a sliding rivet arrangement, an interior quilted arming doublet to soften sharp impacts, slip catches beneath the arm gussets for quick suiting. The breastplate was a marvel both to wear and look at. 55% and human. Alright. Well, that wasn't the place to be. Been 2 hours already. I guess they'll get over to Sylvan, maybe, and then turn the stream off. Might be some encounters on the way. We'll just zoom. Do we explore the town? The barn door was closed. The door was either stuck or someone had blocked it from the inside, though he suspected there was someone inside. No amount of coaxing can make them betray their presence. After knocking several times... Oh, this is this lady. Come back when the sun's down. She'll tell me about Rizalgi's. We shouldn't come back to this place. Shop. Need anything? Well... Empty house. Considering the circumstances, I don't think it's a good idea to come back. This is the tavern. No one really to talk to. James knocked on the door. After a few moments, a dough-faced woman answered, keeping one arm braced behind the door in case her visitors were less than congenial. What is it you want? Although she clearly was addressing James, her gaze danced nervously to the Mordell. I've had enough run-ins with strangers of late. We're looking to get a bit of water per Game started, found the woman that slammed the door. Abandoned house. Alright. That was Darkmoor. Treasure's back there, and temple off the road. Maybe I'll go for the treasures. You can pierce the best armor, make swords. This is rust on that one. You can spin, wheel, and twist, but it can't. But it can turn without moving. Did I figure out what this one is? I can't remember. Oh, it was milk. Yeah, okay. Did figure out that one. Oh, Ruthia. The dragon statue? Malak's Cross. Let's go into a ticket for that house. I got the ticket from the temple last time. Tell me something. What is it that Malak's Cross has done to deserve the Abai Ishap? Have we done some grievous deed to the king? That he should ditch a wagon load of disrespectful, annoying, self-centered little dung-haulers into our midst? What is it now? Take it the students from the Abai Ishap are causing you grief. Without the neighbor's dog digging up your begging begonias and piddling on your front step, that is grief. No, the Abai and her blessed students have given me is a cringing ulcer and a head full of gray hair. That's strange. I would think the students would be excellent customers. Oh well, now, customers, yes. I can't stalk ale fast enough to keep their eyeballs floating, but it's someone that has to babysit their noble asses, that is another matter. I say lock the sorry prats in the basement until there's Zays 20 or thereabouts. Are you sure you haven't been speaking to the prince? Sounds like something he would say about his twins, Boric and Erland, maybe princes of the blood royal. But in Rutha's eyes, they're nothing but a royal pain in the behind. Kids are all the same, whether their blood's blue or not. What can I do for you today? Double. Do I look familiar to you? Can't say you do. Should I know you? No, not me, my face. I want you to take a close look at me. Are you sure you don't know of anyone with a face like mine? Didn't say I've never seen anyone with a face like yours. I just said I've never seen you before. The man you're after is named Lysel Rigger. Is he related to you? Not sure. I don't know anything about my father, and my mother died when I was young. It's possible either of them could have had another child. All I wish to do is talk to him, find out if we have any common history. Good enough. He's been running some sort of errand, though he hasn't told me what it was about or who hired him. He said he should drop out of sight for any length of time. He would be hiding in Darkmoor, probably in the common storage bins there. If you get near there, call out that Ivan sent you. He'll make an appearance. I'll warn you, though, trouble often follows after him. I'd be prepared for a rumble. Must be in the barn. Sounds familiar. If he's no brother of mine, he's at least a close cousin. Got you. We found the strangest thing earlier. It was a statue of a dragon out in the middle of nowhere. It was just standing in a little culvert with nothing around it. Found old Malak's kill, did you? He wasn't always in the middle of nowhere. One time he was just a hop, skip, and a jump from the main row of Malak's Cross, but when the town moved, they left poor old Malak to fend for his own. Why'd they leave him behind? The only man who ever thought Malak was a hero was Malak. Lowborn folk out-hated him. Anyway, when the town began to fall under new raids by Keshian raiders, by Keshian raiders come up from the Sea of Dreams, they decided to move the center of the town inside the sea. The only man that ever thought Malak was a hero was Malak. Lowborn folk out-hated him. Anyway, when the town began to fall under new raids by Keshian raiders come up from the Sea of Dreams, they decided to move the center of the town inside the sea of the Abbey of the Abai Ishap. Raiders wouldn't touch the town after that. Seeing as how the brothers of Ishep first came from Kesh. Later, after things had settled down a bit, they decided to leave the statue out there and let nature take it back. Strange thing about it, folks what have visited recently have said a number of strange things about it. That it was talking to them. Okay, it was hard to read. It's been nice chatting with you. I think we may hang about a bit and chat with some of the students. Whatever you like. Me, I've got dishes to tend to. Thanks again. Perhaps we'll chat later. That's the guy. Play the bard. Nice. 46 sovereigns. Shop. Temple. Let's go back to Darkmoor. Which was where? This way. Boom. Need to rest. 2 hours. Temple of Ruthia. To the barn. The barn door was closed tight. You in there, called James. We wish to speak with you. Ivan Scald sent us. There were rumblings from inside the barn, and after a few moments, the door began to swing slowly open. Faisal Rigger. We could be twins, yes, so it seems. Seeing you, a great number of things suddenly seem crystal clear to me. What is your association with the Mockers in Krondor? What do you mean, I don't? Stop the idiot act, Lysel. I know you have something to do with the Mockers in Krondor. A few months ago, I was abducted by a band of cutthroats dressed as Nighthawks while I was investigating a rumor in the sewers. At the time, I thought they had abducted me because I was close to Arutha, but that wasn't the case at all, was it? That must mean things have gotten even worse than the Upright Man imagined when he sent word for me in Kesh. Excuse me, did you say Kesh, as in the Great Empire of? You of all people should know that the Upright Man has contacts everywhere, including under the Empress's nose. He couldn't very well operate the single most powerful guild in Midkemia without them. But as I was saying, he sent for me in Kesh and asked for me to take a boat into Silden and check on a group of thieves who operated there. I can't really say more, but I confirmed the Upright Man's suspicions. If you get to Krondor before I do, tell one of the thieves, a boy named Lim, that I think the Upright Man's right. Though I'm quite positive now that the crawler is not Jocko Radburn. He should give you a reward for the information. There's something in that offing that threatens the prince. Don't worry your head. The Nighthawks from Krondor were likely sent into Krondor to kill the Upright Man after I fumbled up matters investigating in Silden. Not go after Arutha. This crawler fellow that's running the new Thieves Guild is determined to expand his empire. But he's been busy infiltrating other guilds. He's the Shadow Prince behind half a dozen, most notably the new guild of the Romney. He's also training his men in magic. A whole band of thieves trained in magicians? I don't like the sound of it at all. Neither do I, though for much different reasons. I'm still working on finding out who's training them. Last trail I followed, I heard word that someone in Lighton wished to buy glory hands, magic artifacts. I heard something about it. Magic artifacts I had heard something about. I found this skeletal hand near Sethanon, and I sold it to a fellow in Lighton named Glover. I figured if they were magicians, they'd spot the substitution, and perhaps I would have a lead. If they bought it from you and killed your lead, how did you find the skeletal hand? You probably find this a bit distasteful, but I was going to dig up somebody from the Sethanon graveyard and just borrow a hand, since that part of the world has been deserted for quite some time. I thought it would be my best bet to find what I needed without getting caught. Fortunately, some old ghoul saved me the trouble. I have no idea what this fellow was up to with the corpse, but he was dragging it through this field, like he was headed to the graveyard. At one point, he apparently got tired or thirsty and left the body for a bit, and I went over to liberate this dead man of his hand. Before I can finish, the old man came back. Since I nearly had his hand off, I came back the next day to see if it had wiggled loose in the transport. So he found it and sold it to Glover and Lighton. Just so, but my troubles didn't end there. There were a few men in Lighton who recognized me, apparently men working for the crawler. Seems he's issued a death token on my head after I spotted it in Silden, so since then I've been lying low. Understandable. Someday if we should meet again, I would come talk to you some more. Find out more about where you came from. I mean, find out if we're brothers? It's not likely. I was born in Toulon and only came to Krondor about 3 years ago when the Upright Man sent for me. I was never sure why he sent for me, but apparently he had heard of me. But he is odd that way. I doubt I'll ever understand the way his mind works. That makes two of us. Thank you for this talk, at least, Lysel. You've been quite a help to us, and it's been interesting seeing how others see me. Hope we can meet again. Now I want to go back to Krondor and talk to Lim in the sewers. Let's go. Boom. Krondor for 4 days travel. I missed a turn. I did. To the sewer. Teams led the way down. Twice nearly lost its footing on the treacherous climb, but at last they arrived safely on the precipice of the rock just below the northern gate. Figure moved in the tunnel. Seemingly have appeared from nowhere. A young boy halted them before they could move any further ahead. You'll have to be about your business elsewhere, blokes. I'm not to let so much as a gnat pass me tonight or any night soon for any amount of money. The Thieves' Highway is closed. What? Not even for a tax? Something fairly serious must have happened down here. If you're any friend of the Mockers, you'll understand what I mean when I tell you it's a matter of family business. Meet at Mockers Rest. The Upright Man? You haven't heard it from my lips. Just a night watch and a stupid one at that. I understand. Who do you think was responsible? Same one as clapped hands on you a few months back. Whoever it was must have had a hand on the inside. The Upright Man was poisoned. In the rest, they're calling him the Crawler. Still don't know what exactly he hopes to gain. We'd never submit to him after all he's done to us. Sooner see him dead than in charge of things. Items. Taking anything off the men who are posing as mockers? They're not much for carrying treasure, but yeah, I've found a few nice bits. Tumbled a corpse I found near the sea gate just this morning. The price is right. I might be interested in buying the booty from you. Is that so? Well, my price is 100 gold. 100 gold? You said you didn't carry anything of value. Seems it's value to you, and I'd say it's worth 100 sovereigns if it's worth the pants deal. Yes. Robbery will take it. Good then. I'll get my sassel for you. Silden. We spoke to Lysel Rigger, and he told me to tell you that he's confirmed the Upright Man's suspicions, but he says that the Crawler is not Jocko Radburn. That at least is a relief. Leastways, we know where they're coming from for sure now. Did he tell you anything else? Said something about a reward? I'll give you the seal he asked for. Of course, if you ask me, it's a piddling price for it. Me, myself, I don't think I would have asked for anything less than a shiner. And a good quality one at that. How many keys do you have in your ring? Good thief don't need them. I knows when somebody left a shutter on the spring or a door off the latch. I got a keen eye. I'm all the better without having to depend on them as I see it. I'm probably the best thief what the Upright Man's ever seen. And I know I'm already the quietest. Is that so? How interesting. Well, would you know how to get a hold of Yellow Bill? Perhaps he could sell us a few keys. Bill? What are you talking about, old Bill? He got done down not more than a month ago by the rogue sent by the Crawler. Pity, he was a good man in his own way. What else could we get keys from? I have a key. But you said good thieves didn't need them. I don't need it. I just happen to have one at the moment. Found it near the dead body of someone dressed like a death giller. He was a ugly bloke. And then again with half his head smashed in. Remember the details, please. How much do you want for the Nighthawk key? It's yours for nothing. I don't like carrying it about, and I don't want to bring bad luck off it myself. Take it. Don't ever say Lim never done nothing for you. Locked door. Heard there's a portcullis down here that none of the mockers can open. Can't pick it, can't break the lock. Is it true? Might be pigs can fly. Who's to say? Why are you interested? You're no son of the sewers. How did you hear about it anyways? Let's just say I'm a friend of the family. I was just wondering if anybody ever found a key for it. Isn't no key I know of, at least not when the body's snitched about. If you want my opinion, there's nobody what can get the entire Eternity Gate opened. Impossible. Stealth. Say you're the quietest thief in Krondor. Prove it. Why should I? We have business that may require great stealth on our part, and some of us could use instruction. Would you be willing to teach us what you know? For the right price, I'll steal the crown right off the prince's head. It'll be a half a day before he'll even know it's gone. Sounds interesting? How about 120 sovereigns? Sound reasonable to you? Yes. Thief nodded. Dropping to a crouch, he pointed down the length of the tunnel and instructed Owen to walk away and then return. Common problem. You're coming down too much on your heels, Lim said, watching as his pupil reappeared from the darkness, grabbing Owen's foot. He pivoted so that it rocked from side to side rather than rear to front. Imagine your feet are like waves. You have to roll them. You have to let them roll. Down on the outside, then roll to the center. Now go down and back. We'll keep this up till you have it. After a few more trials, Owen began to catch on to the technique. Astonishing how much of a difference it makes. I can barely hear myself. That's it then, Lim said with a smile, taking his feet. I've got to get back to my guard duty. We can still chat a bit if you like. Right man. Are you certain the Upright Man is dead? So the Nightmaster says. We used to have an amulet that he kept for good luck. Does anybody know what happened? What became of it? Need a bit of extra good luck, eh? But who doesn't? So happens I got the amulet. Nightmaster slipped it to me after I saved his behind from a pair of the crawler's tufts. He didn't think it was worth too much, but I thought I knew. Different 300 sovereign series. How's that strike you? Sure. Where it hurts, that's where it strikes me. Alright, I'll take the amulet. Done, believe you me, you won't be disappointed. Goodbye. Need to be moving out, Lim. Thanks for your help. Such help as was, you're welcome to it. Good day, lords. And to you, watch that the crawler's man don't do you in as well. James Scowl, as much as I like to keep what we found. Oh, I got too much stuff. Blazer's Guild Seal. Is that the same one I had? I think it is. Now everyone's got an amulet. I think that's the same seal that I found already. Oops. Or was the locked door that nobody could pick, I wonder. Will you let me buy? He will not. Zoom. Something to the north. This one I already figured out. It was like the last letter right chest, yeah. It's the dragon statue? No. This is the plague house. Not going in there. Need rest. Nox dragon, turn to the south. Go see the dragon. Oh, what is that? Who are you? The enemy was surprised. Serpent man, James shouted as they rushed forward. I have a feeling this isn't going to be pleasant. Serpent man. Oh no. The skin of the dragon protect me from whatever that spell is? It does. Oh, he's running away. You're not allowed to run away. Do I think they have any metal on them? Skyfire might get them. But didn't kill them. They're running away to cast spells, or... Oof. No, I wanted your loot. You have no room for things. I read all this before. Oracle awaits you. What question would you pose? Murder. Murder took place in Romney. We're seeking the murderer. We need his name. Well, you believe you seek a name is not what you truly wish to know. As you have surmised, the two objects which you discovered are clues to murders. But one indicates a murder you may not realize has taken place. Which object will lead us to what we're looking for? Brass spyglass will guide you to your path. Ask after it, and the way to your destination will become known. Sword. There is a weapon which you will learn which may be of aid to us in our quest. Where may it be found? The Guard of Revanche is hidden away in a place where elves and Mordor fear to tread. A place that is ancient and was once home to those known as the Valeru. That's the cave by Lamont, I guess. Ghosts. How may we put a ghost to rest? A girl nearby is being terrorized by one, and I was hoping perhaps we might be of assistance to her. He who has been disturbed must be laid once again to rest in Jared's grave. Seek his hand, enlighten, and commend it to the earth of Sethanan's honored dead. Then shall her terrors be brought to an end. So get the hand, enlighten, and then bury it in Sethanon? Okay. There's Lighten. There's Sethanon. I don't know if I figured this one out. It asks no questions, but demands many answers. Don't knock it until you're ready to see what waits on the other side. Don't think I figured this one out. Right. Enoch? Alright, see you, Cyrus. No. Oh. Not knowledge. E. Air. Hurt. Fire. Hide. Theo. Air. I do not know. Asks no questions but demands many answers. Gonna be an ambush up ahead. Either past it or we killed it before, or maybe our stealth skill saved us from it. Wouldn't budge. Look out, ambush. Nice. This guy with the biggest fireball we can fire. You aren't allowed to run away. For weapons. And we've got a lot of stuff. This must have been from that thief guy. I am uninterested in your difficulties with the Guild of Thieves under Krondor. It was your responsibility to deal with them, and your special training should give you more than an adequate advantage over those common thieves. You are to locate the amulet of the Upright Man and the Idol of Lesur, and load them aboard the Nightcrawler immediately. We have pressing business with our serpentine clients in the Sunset Isles, and I don't believe that they will be patient when I tell them about the incompetence of my hirelings, the Crawler. What is this? 52 book? I have the 85 book. We'll live here in some time. I think I've been over there. Sure, you can have the money. Stupid tax collectors. How did I get turned around that quick? Alright. Place is abandoned. Nothing. Friendly chat on the road again. Nothing. Tavern is closed for now. Nobody's about. We're supposed to get somebody's hand. The corn. Lord Lighton was disappointed. Haven't brought the armor. No, I haven't. Tavern should be open now. Two people to talk to. Gambler. That guy doesn't want to talk. That guy doesn't want to talk. That guy doesn't want to talk. Stuff with the bard. Lion Sovereigns of Night. That one's a sword. That one's river. Can't remember what that one is, but I think I solved it. We were supposed to find a man's hand. There was one for sale somewhere, so I guess we could go buy it. And, we passed Sylvan altogether. Or we're still coming up to it. No, we passed it. Accidentally. North Trail. My Dragonstone. Some longboats. The man grumbled, not sure whether the comment was an invitation or an indication they should leave. James approached the man cautiously. Good day. Good day, my arse. Damn madness, all this guild feuding. He spat, wiping ale from his lips with the back of his hand. I had a regular job before all this madness began up in Romney. Now I have my job under the cover of night. If Arlie Steelsoul would come to the negotiations table with the rest of the guilds, we could bring this idiocy to a halt. Has anyone talked to him? James asked. Who can? He's got himself sealed up in his house near Sloop. None of Duke Romney's men have been able to get through to him. He won't even allow his supplies to be delivered to his door. He has them dropped off in a box. Served him right if someone sent in a pack of rachos and been sitting in the sun for a month or more. Arrogant bastard. Know how much it costs me to harbor my flats now? 100 sovereigns every 2 weeks. Despite Jim's repeated attempts to steer the conversation in a more interesting direction, the man insisted on relating his docking fees at various points along the river and the outrageous lengths to which he had to resort to deliver his goods unmolested. Alas, the effect of the ill, beginning to overwhelm, he slumped against the wall and began to snore. Need 30 sovereigns playing the music. This guy, your patronage is most heartily appreciated, but I warn you that further visits to the Anchorhead might be dangerous. Now that you've returned my pouch, they will be looking for the thief who took it, and most assuredly I haven't the skills to perform the task. It would be best if you left as quickly as possible. Perhaps you're right. Good day. Right then. These guys won't take me across the water. Well, I think that's as far as we wanted to go today with the stream, so I guess we'll be back tomorrow for 2 more hours of Betrayal at Krondor. So thanks for watching, thanks for following, thanks for pressing all the buttons and this and that. If you want to see more episodes, check out the live tab of my YouTube or the playlists over there. And